Hey guys, welcome to Fanatical Side Rider. Today we're going to do our first oil change here on the Zforce 950 HOEX. Man, how time flies. You know, I've been out riding, having a good time with this 950 ever since I got it. Been out on a few good trips and it's worked really good for me. That was the break-in period. Now we have to change our oil. Now I'm a tad over 200 miles, but not that much. What am I going to do? Stop in the middle of a ride and change my oil? No, I'm not, right? So we're going to change that oil today. We're going to grease our fittings. We're just going to do a once over, check everything, and I'm sure everything's fine, but we got to get this oil changed, put some fresh oil in it. Okay, right here is a dipstick. That's for your transmission. Here at the rear of the engine is the dipstick for your oil. This is where you add your oil. The drain plug is going to be directly underneath on the 950. You see that hole there? Well, right up inside that hole is your drain plug. You got to get under there with a 19mm socket and loosen that and take it out. And then you're going to put a new crush ring on your drain bolt. But we'll get to that in a second. First, I got to get set up with a can to catch the old oil. And I got to get my oil change kit, my oil, and my filter. So just a reminder, when you take the drain plug out, make sure that the crush ring comes down. My bolt didn't have the crush ring on it, so I just reached up there and pulled the crush ring down with my fingers. Just make sure you get it, because when you go to put your new crush ring on, you don't want two of them there. So just make sure you have it. Just reach up, it'll pull right off. It's just sticking there with oil. So all the oil is just about drained out of the engine and it's just dripping now. There's a little bit on the skid plate. I'll clean that up when I'm done. Hardly anything. So that drain plug and the hole in the skid plate are lined up perfectly to drain oil out. Now I'm going to show you how to remove the oil filter and put the new one in. All right, so here is your oil filter cap. Your oil filter is under here. There's three 8mm bolts. You have to undo 1, 2, 3. You know what the easy thing is about the 950 is everything you can reach. You can reach your dipsticks, you can reach your filter, you can reach everything really good here on the 950 compared to the 800. So I'm going to back those out, pull the filter out. Oh, the cap wants to come off already. And I'm going to make sure I don't lose this bolt. A little bit of oil is going to drip, well, a lot of oil is going to drip out of there. Slide your pan underneath, and we'll have to clean that up after. Pull the filter out. If I can get my fingers around it, everything's so slippery. And then the oil is going to gush out now. There, we'll get a little bit of oil in our skid plate. You can drop your skid plate for this job. It's not a big deal. There's like 12 bolts, I guess. Drop it with a cordless ratchet. Goes really quick. So here's our filter. It's just saturated with oil. Trying to see if I can see any metal shavings. Don't really see too much. Yeah, maybe a little bit, maybe. But it's not bad. That's okay, that's normal. So I'm going to clean this up and we'll put the new filter in. So what I did, guys, is I took a clean rag, very clean rag, and I just cleaned inside the casing here where the oil filter goes. I cleaned the rim around here, and I'm just cleaning up any excess oil that went down here, down the engine and on the skid plate, cleaning it all up, because I don't want to smell all that excessive oil spillage when I'm running it. And always wash your machine before you do an oil change or any work, because there'll be mud and dirt and stuff all the way around here, and it's best just to keep it clean so it doesn't get contaminated with dirt. So another thing you can do is you got the oil filter cap here. Take your rubber ring off, clean it up, inspect it. It should be fine, right? This is your break-in period. Everything's new. And if nobody's tampered with this before, you pretty much bet that it's in good shape. So I'm just wiping all that oil off of it. That looks good. I just take a little bit. It's not even that dirty, but I take a little bit of brake cleaner and clean this up. Maybe it's overkill, but I like to do things right. Clean everything up really good. That way I'm not leaving any dirt or metal shavings behind that I don't need going in my engine. So what I'm using is a Cfmoto actual oil change kit. Comes with a filter, 3 liters of oil. Actually, it comes with an oil cap ring, so I'm going to put that one on. And it comes with your crush ring. So here's your new oil filter. The end with the hole goes in first. Closed in, out. So we're just gonna pop it in place. It'll go over a fitting in there. And you see that just fits perfect. Now we can put our oil cap back on. Okay, we got our oil cap back on. Now I'm probably gonna block you. So we'll start our bolts. So just finger start them. And then we got our top one. Remember to put our vent line back up here like this. And get that started. It's only middle of April and it's so warm in here today. Working in a t-shirt and pants and it's still too hot. Okay, we're gonna snug these up a little bit and we're gonna check out the torque on these. So the torque on the bolts for your oil filter cap is 7.3 foot-pounds. So I don't want to get out my torque wrench for this, but I kind of know. Just snug it up, don't crank them, over crank them. Now we'll put our drain bolt back on. Okay, we got our funnel now in place. My 950 came with a funnel. It was under the hood by the battery. So that's what I'm going to be using to add oil, fresh oil to the engine. We're going to start adding the fresh oil now. I have it in place. I'm just going to hold it to make sure that it doesn't spill. And so far it looks good. Just take your time adding so you don't overflow like I just did right there. Got a little bit carried away. Just go slowly. And always pour your oil or any fluids out of a jug like this sideways. That way you don't get that look and surging over the top and spilling on you. Now if you got a Zforce 800, I have a video on doing the oil change on that as well. And I also have a video changing the oil on a 2021 CfORCE 500. We cleaned our dipstick. We'll add our dipstick back in there. Okay, now I'm going to fire up the Zforce and circulate the oil through the engine and the filter. Now we ran the motor for a couple of minutes, took the dipstick out, we'll check our oil, and we're right where we need to be, we're full. Nice, fresh, clean oil. We'll put the dipstick back in and we're all done. So fresh oil, I hit the two front control arms. There's two grease nipples on each side. I greased them up and we're ready to roll. I might even take it out for a rip tonight. I hope this video helped you changing the oil on a Zforce 950 HOEX or any of the 950s. And we'll catch you on the next one.